Okay, now we are ready to start using the Beehive Brain Box Learning System, and it is very easy to use and to start using. Okay, we've got the framework, the cards that we had for the framework, and we have the cards that we did for the 25 words, 25 most common words in written language. You'll notice it's a rainbow of cards. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to take a certain number of cards, maybe 3 or 4, 5 if you think that your student might already know these cards. I'm going to take just 3 though, and we're going to put them behind number 1 in the framework. So there they go behind number 1. Now this very first time that you do something with your card deck, okay, you're going to study the words. You're going to learn the words. You're going to learn that this is the. Now if you already know this, well, you can put it behind number 2. But if you don't know it yet, if you haven't studied it and you need to learn it, then do that, learn it. So you're just going to keep it behind number 1. Then the second word is of, and you're going to study that. Like I said, if you already know something, you can advance it behind number 2. Now the third word is and. Okay, and you're going to study that. Then you're going to go back over the cards, and somebody's going to kind of quiz you. Well, what word is this? Oh, that's thou. That's the. What word is this? I don't remember. Well, it's of. It's still going to go back behind number 1, and you're going to study it a little bit more. And then this one, oh, that's and. It begins with an A. Okay, so are you going to advance these cards? No, you're not. Not the first time that you go through them. Unless, as I said, you already know it. You're going to put them in the deck. You're going to put the deck together with the title card on it. Card number 1 behind the title card, and the cards that you're studying behind number 1. And you're going to rubber band them. Now you're going to wait at least an hour. Okay? This is called spaced review. Repetition and spaced review. That's what this is built on. And they're the best 2 study techniques that there are out there. Okay, so the next time you come back, hopefully in about an hour, you're going to go to the cards behind number 1. What is this? The. Oh, well, you know it now, so it goes behind number 2. What is this? I don't remember. So you keep it behind number 1. What's this? And. Okay, and also goes behind number 2. You study this one if you didn't know it, and you can add a couple more. This is up to kind of the parent as to what they're going to add. You're going to study this one again. That's of. You're going to study this one. That's A. That's kind of easy because it's the name of the letter, isn't it? And then 2. This is like going to someplace, to the store, to the theater, to school, to a friend's house. Okay. Now you're going to study these. And they're going to go back behind number 1. Because remember, you have just studied them. You haven't moved them anywhere or anything. They're just brand new to you, and so you studied them. Now you're going to wait again, at least another hour, or preferably the next day. You see, guys, your mind is a very wonderful thing, because at night when you're sleeping, your mind processes what you've learned during the day, and it files it, literally. It files it away for your use and your recall. We don't want to put too much in a mind in one day, particularly when we're learning new things. So I wouldn't advise learning more than 6 to 10 words. It just depends upon what your parent or your teacher thinks that you can handle. Now, if you're already familiar with some of these words, well, of course you're going to know more. But don't do too many, because come back the next day and you start going through the cards, oh boy, it's going to be a massive confusion for you, and you don't want that. You want to conquer this bit by bit, line upon line, precept upon precept, like the Lord says. He knew what he was talking about when he said that. A little bit of a time, and you will get through this. So the next time you go through it, the third time, hopefully the next day, you're going to go to cards behind number 2. Okay? And you're going to go through that again. Do you still know this word? Do you know and? I do. So it goes behind card number 3. Do you know this word? I do. It goes behind card number 3 too. Now you can go to the cards that are behind number 1. Do you know this word? I don't think so. So it stays behind number 1. Do you know this word? Oh, that's A. That's easy. So that goes behind card number 2. And the last one you had behind number 1, oh, that's of. I know that now. So you can put of behind card number 2. What happens here, guys, is that whatever you know advances behind the next numbered card. What you don't know stays behind card number 1. Okay? Okay, so you had to keep the word 2 behind numbered 1 since you didn't know that. And you can add a couple more cards now. So we're going to take 6 and 7 out of the deck. In and is. In and is. And we're going to put them behind number 1. We're going to study them. But remember, when we first put them in the deck and study them, we don't advance them unless we already know them, and then we can advance them. But if we have to study it, they stay behind number 1. We do that, and then again, at the very least, an hour later, you can go back and you can start with the cards behind the farthest card, which would be 3 in this case. If you know if you know a card behind number 3, it can go behind number 4. If you don't, set it aside because you're going to have to study it a little more, and it's going to go back behind card number 1. Then you're going to go to card number 2. If you know the words behind card number 2, you can advance them to behind number 3. If you don't, it's back behind card number 1. And then you look at card number 1, behind number 1, and you look at those cards. Not the ones you missed, but the ones that have been sitting behind card number 1 for at least an hour, and the ones that you studied, and you go through them. If you know them, you can advance them behind number 2. And then any cards that you have missed, that you don't know, you study them, but you don't advance them until you come back another time. I hope that this has been clear. There is a PDF that helps you a little bit, and it explains a little bit more. I will explain more in the next video.